before I dive into the details of that, I want to rewind, like way back, no, further back, way back before the actual event. Because I failed to share with you guys the craziness of the whole build-up and lead into the event. I mean, this was my first event. I didn't even send emails out to verify, to check if people were gonna show up. And I remember when we got to the hotel, I was already nervous about this being my first event. I was nervous because I didn't see the software. And I was just like, I hope I don't trip going up on stage. And most importantly, I hope people actually show up. And I remember my right-hand man, he said, hey, we've got a meet and greet. Today people are registering for the event and you're supposed to go down there and meet people. That was part of them getting their ticket. And I remember being terrified and I literally refused to leave the room. I mean, this went on for well over 45 minutes. I was late. And finally, my right-hand man is like, man, you've got to go. He's like dragging me out. And I finally leave. I'm so nervous because in my head, no one is going to be at this event. I'm going to be staying up there. There's going to be one person in there. Like that, great talk, Vince. Great talk, Vince. I think if anyone has had a live event, you know that you thought about that as well. Like, I'm gonna have this event and nobody actually shows up. Anyhow, we get down there and I remember I'm like walking and I'm already late and I don't see really anyone. And it's crazy because this is kind of a small to medium-sized hotel. And finally, like all of these people kind of come around this corner at the hotel and, they're like, Vince, what's going on? And they start coming up and they're like, man, it's so awesome. We love the company. We're so excited that you had this event. And it was like 30 or 40 people. And literally at that moment, my tension went from up here to down here. I was still in the middle because I still had to produce and deliver on an amazing event that I, had promised. And also, in the back of my mind was, man, is this software going to even be what I expect it to be? So the event went off. It was great. We had one of our biggest days in terms of sales with my company. Like the system was like running on all cylinders. It was crazy. And, I remember sitting there like, here I am at this event. And I took the VIP parties guys like advice and had this event, which I was terrified to do. I took his advice in terms of, things I should do with the business. And that's something that I had failed to share with you guys. There was actually like a secret meeting. Yeah, there was a meeting that took place after I actually saw him in Vegas where he made me share the steak with him. He was actually speaking at a different event a few weeks later and he's like, hey, come down and let's connect. So I went down to San Diego and it was crazy. We didn't do anything. We didn't go out. There was no party scene. There was no California version of Mr. X going down. We literally for the whole entire evening just talked business. And for whatever reason, he broke down his entire system step by step by step because it was crazy. I remember I was thinking back like the entire time, like when I got back from the Vegas trip when I first saw him and all the numbers and all the money he was making. And in my mind, I had an idea of what he was doing. And it was crazy. Had I not went to meet him at that secret meeting where we just talked about business and he, shared all of his strategies and all of his secrets with me, I would have literally created the wrong thing. What I thought he was doing was not what he was doing at all. It took that meeting for me to really dial it in to make it work. And here I am about to have my first live event, having the biggest sales day of my life. And people actually there ready to learn from me. It was crazy. So if you're a person that feels like things are too difficult and you don't believe in certain things and you're afraid to take certain actions, I can tell you, man, on the other side of fear, there's a lot of amazing things that will happen in your life because this entire process, even in this entire, DM series, there's been a lot of fear, a lot of things like, will people even like this information? And you just keep breaking down those barriers. You keep just challenging yourself and amazing things happen. But now it's time to take the stage and have the event. And now we can fast forward back to where we were to the bad news.